Welcome to our professional ethics course. My name is Garth Sharif. Now you might have clicked on this course, professional ethics, for a few reasons. One, it's that time of year where you might need professional development hours or continuing professional development hours. And this course in particular is a new requirement for CPAs to have 4 hours of training in ethics, professional ethics. Now, you might not have been very excited when you clicked on this course because you might have been satisfying those two reasons, the CPD hours and the ethics component. Because when we think of the word ethics, well, there's a lot of important things that might come to mind, but maybe not excitement as one of those. So the word ethics brings a whole lot of imagery to your mind. You might think of right or wrong, TV shows like Law & Order, your own professional experiences. And part of taking a course that's called professional ethics, you might also think a lack of engagement. You might be thinking, all right, are we going to be talking around philosophy, really code of conduct type of stuff? Can I be listening to another podcast or doing some work in the background because this is going to be tedious? And we're going to look at professional ethics in a practical way so you don't feel that this is tedious, that you feel that this is useful and also relevant and interesting for your career. Now, there's a reason that for CPAs this has been made a mandatory program as part of your continuing professional development. There's an emphasis on this, but really when we talk about ethics and professional ethics, what we are talking about is critical thinking and decision making. And there's a lot of influences and change in our profession that is affecting the way in which we might come to a decision, technology being number one. So hopefully you'll find in this program that you're engaged, and we're going to engage you through activities and some thought exercises throughout, and that you'll find yourself examining your decision-making process and understanding if it works in all cases, especially the ones where you have to make tough judgment calls. So this might not be your traditional ethics course in the sense that hopefully you won't feel this is tedious and boring. Hopefully you'll feel it's exciting and we'll have some fun as we go through. And just to emphasize the having fun part of this, I like to layer pop culture in my courses, online or live. And a brief introduction of myself. I am Garth Sharif, and I deliver online and live training courses through my company, Sharif Consulting. And you're watching this through Sharif Consulting online, an engaging approach to your online professional development. And for me, being a product of the 80s and a product of a lot of TV and film, I love pop culture references. I think that's always a great place for metaphors, and I try to use those.